Promise Startups Conference, folks. My name's Elias. I mean, it is Saturday. It is Saturday, December. And what are y'all doing on this Saturday? Not sipping hot cocoa, not watching TV, or you're out here working on your business. And I love that energy for you and for us, for all of us. So today we have a really exciting panel. First off, I'm going to pass the floor here shortly to Tessie and Alondra. Tessie and Alondra have been members of Promise Startups for this past year. They've been working on their business. They've been a part of our Promise Startups Micro Accelerator program, and they're going to be leading the discussion today. We've got two sets of incredible guests. We want to welcome some of our latest Promise Startups members. We've got Kaya from Sinful Bites and Sela from Sela's Kitchen, and they were able to share some of their cookies and Ethiopian food with us today. We're going to hear about their journey. And then we're going to pivot and learn from 101.tax. We've got Stephanie and Tanya joining us from 101.tax to talk about taxes and bookkeeping. Kim Zuniga talked about the importance of understanding finance, and so we're grateful for their expertise time to be able to teach us. Last thing I just want to share with you all before I get up here and pass the floor over to these amazing ladies is our 2025 business planning workshop that we have coming up. We partnered with the We Mentality, and this is happening at Blackfire next week, Sunday, 8:30 in the morning, all day for people who want to go deep in planning 2025. I'll be there working on my business, and if you want to come join me and several other entrepreneurs, you're welcome to. It is free for this community. And so without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to both of you ladies, if you don't mind, to introduce yourself while I get our next set of guests coming up here.
Hi, my name is Alondra. I'm in the beauty industry, and you guys are probably tired of me saying that. But yeah, my name is Alondra, and I'm here to support other women in business also, not only women, but, women that have kids and that have a business, because it's not for the weak. It's like triple the work. So if you guys need anything, I'm here for you guys.
Hello, my name is Tessie Angel. Of course, we are twins, and I have a commercial cleaning business, and I look forward to working with other small businesses. Oh. Do you guys want to come up?
All right, let's give a round of applause for Kaya and Sela.
We would like for you both to introduce yourself and just give us a quick bio on your business.
Okay. Thank you for this chance you gave me. My name is Salam. I'm from Ethiopia. I have a catering business, but mostly specialized on vegan. And people, they have health issues and they don't have time with kids in their jobs. I can cook and prep and from the scratch, and anytime they can pick it up or I can deliver for them. This business is mostly health issue in time, and as always work forward with anybody, vendors and single family or community events, birthdays, graduations, and after big health issues, especially after chemos kind of thing, I do all the vegetarian dish and prepared everything clean and according to their interest. So I'm glad to work with anybody, and I'm happy with you guys having me today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Kaya. I'm with Sinful Bites, and it's a gourmet cookie company. I'm currently just online, and I deliver locally within the Las Vegas area. I've been baking for a while. I wanted to focus on cookies. Well, I love cookies. Cookies are great. Who doesn't love cookies? And it's definitely a trend, but I feel years before I started baking cookies with the idea of how can I make it different? Like, what desserts do I love that I could turn into a cookie? And that's kind of how I started. And definitely we see that trend going across the nation with other cookie companies that are coming up. So I love that. To me, I know chocolate chip is everyone's favorite, but you can do so much more than chocolate chip with a cookie. And that's what I love to do. So it's Sinful Bites. I love to create different flavors. If there's something that I don't have, definitely contact me and challenge me to create a cookie a flavor cookie that you like. And that's what I love to do. Just make it different, creative.
That's good.
Can you guys give us like your Instagram, your phone number, or where to reach you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so my website is www.sinfulbiteslv.com, and on Instagram you can follow me. Same thing. It's Sinful Bites LV. Unfortunately, I haven't memorized my phone number, but the phone number is listed on both the Instagram and the website. You can contact me there. Like I said, I do special requests, special orders, do catering. So hit me up and I'd love to speak with you.
Okay, my website is www.salahskitchen.com, and my phone number is 702-979-8654, and you can give me at Salah's Kitchen on Instagram, so you can contact me and email me, or my email also salahwala at yahoo.com. You can contact me through those all informations, and I can cater, I can have work with you guys anytime. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Kaya, Stella, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you all. Okay, next up we've got 101.tax. Feel free to join us.
Hello. We're gonna have them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I do bookkeeping for a lot of businesses. But usually small businesses. That's what I am more professional at. But yeah, so we're here to help. And Sonia has a tax office that we work in. I'm the bookkeeper, and Tanya is the tax professional. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Tanya Jimenez, and I'm a tax preparer at Sonia's Tax Services. I prepare as simple as W-2 for a W-2 working job. That's your typical 9 to 5, or if you're a sole proprietor or small businesses. Our office here at Sonia's Tax Service, we love to help small businesses grow their business, how to maximize on their write-offs, how to basically get your business in order so that your business can be successful and you know exactly where you are every year, what you're going to pay, strategize, how we're going to strategize your business so that next year you can maximize on your business and help it grow. So that's basically what we focus on here at Sonia's Tax Services, at what just strategize you from beginning to end. And then Stephanie also helps out in the office with bookkeeping, so helping small businesses manage their books, which a lot of them don't feel the need that there is, and it's so important. It goes with your taxes. It's what's going to help you maximize on your return or help you pay, the very least taxes or break even, whichever. So I'll kind of hand it over back to Stephanie and she can talk to you a little bit about managing your books, why it's so important.
Or did you guys want to ask us a question?
Oh,
That's
sorry.
yes,
okay, sorry.
That's pretty much the question for some of us that are not familiar. When you speak about bookkeeping, can you give us a little bit more of a detail?
Yes. So I don't know if you guys ever heard of have you guys read the book Poor Dad, Rich Dad? What's the first chapter? It talks about how this guy made so much money, and it was like his business was booming, everything was amazing, and guess what? What happened? First year of taxes, he got hit with a big, huge bill. And as fast as he got that money, as fast as he got into debt. And the IRS is one person you do not want to mess with. They will take your money. And the thing is this, he didn't have any records of his expenses. He didn't have any record of his mileage. He didn't have any of these things to even prove to them, like, hey, it says here I made 100,000, but in reality, I only made 20. Well, you don't have anything to prove prove it. So guess what? IRS is going to tax you at what they think you made, not what an estimation. That's not how it works. They tax you at their rate. So guess what? First year of his success in his business was the first year he actually failed as well. So in order for you guys to avoid that, make sure to have all your expenses in order. Mileage, cell phone expenses, if you went to a course, if you spend equipment, your supplies. I know you work at a beauty salon. So both of you guys work at a beauty salon, right? So
I have a cleaning.
a cleaning? Okay, cleaning, sorry. So any supplies that you guys order, equipment, things like that, those are write-offs. So if you made $100,000, but guess what? You spent $50,000 in expenses, you only get taxed on 50, not the whole amount, if that makes sense. So we're here to tell you guys to prepare you guys as new business owners of how this works, okay? So Tanya can tell you a little bit more about how the taxes work on that. So I do the bookkeeping and I make sure that my clients pay the least in taxes. But in order for her to do their taxes, I have to make sure that everything is in record, that I keep track of all the expenses. And then I hand it to her and then she takes care of it and she inputs the information. Do you have anything to say to that?
I do, but do you have a question?
I do have
Okay,
a question. So why do people fear to do taxes? Because some people that I like talk to, they don't really do taxes because they think that they're gonna have to pay the IRS, and it's like not true, right? So I mean, me, I haven't. Yeah, I have no experience or knowledge about like how to do it. It's my first year doing taxes with the business. It's gonna be my first year, and I didn't do the tracking of all the things I bought, and I spent over um, maybe with school and all that more than 28,000. So products and tools and oh my gosh, now I'm like I kind of messed up, and I'm kind of gonna lose.
I can help you.
Yeah.
Let me
See, and this is what we need, people to educate us because we don't have anyone that could educate us. I mean, not me, like not my parents. They don't own businesses. I don't have friends that have businesses. I'm the first one that has a business, like in my family, in like when like my friendships and all that. So I'm the one teaching them. So imagine like I have to do a lot of research, and thank you for being here and taking the time. We all have lives and we're busy, and especially you guys. So thank you for being here and teaching me, so then I could go back and teach those women that don't have time to, sit down, come here and listen to you guys or other speakers.
Well, first, congratulations for being the first entrepreneur in your family. And we get this a lot. A lot of people don't get structured right because they're the first ones in their family. And let me tell you, do not be afraid. It's okay. And this is how I'm going to fix your problem, okay? The way that you can fix your problem, and if anybody's in the same situation as she is, go on QuickBooks, sign up, and it can literally bring all your expenses from all your debit cards, from all your credit cards that you guys use, and then from there you can categorize them. So this is for the supplies, this is for the rent, and because I'm pretty sure everybody uses a debit card and a credit card, right? So that's one way to keep record. So that's your paper trail. So go onto QuickBooks, go backwards for the year, and then start categorizing everything.
So it's never too late?
It's
No.
never too late.
No.
You're still good.
So to add to what Stephanie said, so it's never too late, and don't worry, and congratulations again. But it's never too late. You're not alone. So you are definitely not alone. We deal with small businesses that have been in business, came from a CPA even sometimes, come to us and they're a mess. And they're like, well, my CPA never told me. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but we can help you. And even people that you think are super successful, sometimes their stuff isn't even in order. But most importantly is how you start your business. It's a lot of people don't know this. So again, you're not alone with that either. They don't understand taxes. They don't understand the tax brackets. They don't even understand as simple as if you guys all worked a W-2 job. I'm sure at one point, every time they hire you, what do they always ask you for? Your ID, your social security, and a form. That form is what? A W-4. It's asking you, how do you file your taxes? Single, married, head of house, household, all of that. So even down to that simple paper where you're I'm pretty sure everyone's filled one out in here and you probably have no idea what you just filled out. So you're not alone with that either. So it comes down to what entity, did you get your LLC started for your business? Did you get your EIN? Your entity is what's very important, because that's after you scale so much in your small business. At that point, we want to save you more money. So what can we do? That's when, I don't know if anyone in the room's heard of S corps or corporations, that kind of thing. So at what point, when you reach a certain bracket, when is it a good idea for you to transfer to an S corp to save you even more money, because your business is constantly growing and every year you're making more money? So that's really important, is what entity are you? Because depending on those entities, and we get this again a lot, we have people that go into business and they're like, well, I don't know, me and my friend somebody told us and helped us open the LLC, and I don't know, but I have the paper. Okay, can we see the paper? Then that's where we start. And it's like, we're asking you your entire life, where you live, your finances, are you married? We have to, because again, it's important. It's because if it's not correct, it goes back, and that's when you start getting letters from the IRS, because everything gets reported on that end too. So most importantly, what's your entity? Because every entity has different, like a lot of people who scale and become an S corp, because they go and do this, and sometimes they do it on, an advertisement, or a friend told them, or they thought they did it. Sometimes they thought that they became an S corp and they were never an S corp. And that's very important.
And we also help new business owners create their LLC, and they need a sole proprietor and their EIN. So first thing as a business owner that you need to get is either a sole proprietorship, okay, with the state of Nevada, and an LLC. It's a limited liability company. Those are the two first things that you would get, either or, because you're barely starting. Once you start hitting your 100,000, 150,000, then I would consider you to become an S corp, and so far from there, right? But first year, you could either be a sole proprietorship or an LLC. And then the next step would be creating an EIN through the state of IRS. I'm sorry, not the state IRS. Sorry, for the Department of IRS, you would create an EIN. An EIN is an identification number to your business. So you don't go under your social to do business. No, you have to create another entity for your business. Then you would create a bank account with your nearest bank, and then the money that goes in the business would go into the business account, and money that comes out would go out of the business account. And that way you can go back and get all your expenses, and you can reconcile everything a lot more easier. So at the end of the year, it's not hard for you to go through all your receipts, through all the paperwork and all that stuff, and try to bring me a box of all your receipts. Like, no, we don't do that, ladies. No, just kidding. We get our stuff organized. And if you say, well, you know what? I don't have enough money to hire a bookkeeper, and I'm not there yet. Like I said, download QuickBooks, categorize everything. And if you still need help with organizing and don't understand how the taxes work, we do have a tax class. It's called 101.tax, do it right. And you guys can sign up, and we can tell you exactly what your expenses are, what's your first year looking like with the IRS, and we can also teach you how to prepare your own taxes. If it's something that you want to do, like a little side hustle, while your business is going. But we offer it to people who want to become tax preparers and business owners, because I think you should know about your business as your tax preparer also knows, And I always tell people, I'm like, as long as you know how to make money, it's all good. We'll figure out the rest. But don't wait, like she says. There's people who do not file their taxes in years. Like, don't be like them. Don't be like Johnny, okay? Because Johnny is going to get audited sooner or later, okay?
And get stressed out. And trust me,
out.
we do. We get people that I've had people come in the office with stacks of IRS letters, and they don't even want to open them. They're like, "Here, can you open them?" I don't want to open them. They're losing sleep over it. When we had one client, she was losing her hair. It's literally just it's okay. There's a fix to everything. It just takes time sometimes. But a lot of the times that it happens, it's lack of knowledge. And once again, don't be afraid to ask. A lot of people want to take the shortcut in finance because, oh, my friend said she could do it. It's one thing to do it, and it's one thing to know it and understand it. so that, because this is something that has to do with your business, and certain businesses do have penalties for either not filing on time, filing the wrong thing, or not, or leaving something behind. So if you're going to start a business, the most important thing you want to do before you start your business is, how are you structuring yourself? What entity are you? And how are you going to structure yourself to be a successful business and know how to run your business and know everything that you need?
Thank you for all the information you have been providing. My question would be for those individuals out in my community that don't have a social but are wanting to start their business. Um, what route would you give us?
That's a great question.
So the first thing I would do is get that person an ITIN. An ITIN is a identification number to whom that person, as a foreigner, they would consider him, is reporting taxes. Once you do that, you would create go on the IRS page and create. Well, first you would go to the state license, sorry, and then create a state license for him, and then go on to the IRS and get an EIN under the ITIN. So you can become a business owner if you have an ITIN or you're not from here. Okay, but remember that the taxation is a little bit higher. But if you are with the right people, and there's people who prepare your taxes and they're not for you, they just do their job and they don't care if you pay the IRS. You need to find people who care about your business and care about your growth. So you need to find people who are going to help you and give you strategic strategies for you to avoid paying taxes, if not even cut even. Okay, so that's one thing. If they're telling you have to pay $20,000 to the IRS, do not go with them. Go somewhere else. You're not bind with somebody. Like, go somewhere else, get your research, look around. Because I have people who go on TurboTax because they want to save the $300 preparation of taxes. And guess what? They owe $10,000 charges. I was like, why did you hit submit? Why? Now we got all these late fees, and now you got to lien on your house. Like, it doesn't make sense. You want to save money, go to the right people. That's all I'm saying. Get knowledge, go to the right people, and get informed.
Yes. Do you guys offer the services in Spanish for Spanish speakers, or is
Yes.
just English speakers?
So we do, yes, as far as services, yes. The class, as long as they know and understand English and we can translate, they can come and join the class, as far, depending on how their English is. But it's usually a 3-day class. A 3-day class, 12 hours total for those 3 days, not per day, but we split it up to equal 12 hours. And you leave there honestly knowing everything that you need to know, including for your business, what you can utilize for your business, what to write off for your business. And the thing about it is that people are scared of the IRS and taxes, is because 9 times out of 10, those people do not understand taxes. And you just know you're paying into them. You know that you have to do them by April 15th, and if you didn't, you need an extension. And that's about it. You don't know anything else. So at Sony's Tax Services, we love to educate our clients. There's a lot of people, like I had a phone call yesterday based off of our Google reviews, and she's like, I owe this much. Can you tell me why? And a lot of those questions are hard because it depends how much you're making for the year. But after I explained the brackets to her, she understood why for the past 3 years she's owed the IRS, and the people or whoever she went to previously to prepare her taxes never told her why. So it's just things like that.
Can you give us a time, date, hours, location for the classes?
Oh, yes. We're actually hosting a class coming up next week. We'll be having 2 in December. December 11th through the 13th is our next class. It'll be from 9:30 to 1:30. Our office is located at 2801 South Valley View Boulevard. We're in Suite 6, Sonia's Tax Services. That's our next class. And we will be hosting another class December 17th through the 19th, same hours. You can give our office a call at 702-685-1111 if you have any more questions or you want to sign up for the class. You can also go to our website at 101.tax and enroll through there if you'd like to.
And what is the fee?
$399.99. So $400 basically. But honestly, if that's where I started with Sonia's Tax Services. I took her course a couple of years ago because I was in real estate and I just wanted to know taxes. I myself didn't know taxes. And I learned in those 3 days the most that I had ever learned from anyone.
I was just gonna ask you that. Where did you learn how to do taxes?
That's exactly where I went. I went to her and what she taught in 3 days was amazing. I had friends that were in finance that I would ask questions to, and they kind of, always told you, oh yeah, you just need A, B, and C, but never elaborated on what's in between the A, B, and C, or you asked a tax question and they just gave you the answer, but never explained the full why it works that way. So I really wanted to learn, and I took her course, and I was literally left with my mouth open. I'm not even joking. I was just like, wow, to come from a family of business and we don't even know that, and nobody's sharing the information, or maybe they don't understand it, or understand only bits and pieces. But it's a very important piece to just in general, even if you have children, for them to understand, because that's going to lead them to even cut down all the years of trial and error that you did, right? Because they're going to understand taxes. If you understand taxes in finance, you're going to excel, you're going to succeed, and you're going to do amazing.
And that's where all those YouTube individuals like that talk about wealth and how their kids are wealthy, because they know the tax loopholes.
Right. It's generational wealth. It's how
Yes.
you create it. And it all starts with how you did it. So that's why we do get a lot of clients that come in and we help them out. We get them corrected. But at the end of the day, a lot of them, they didn't know. And they tried to do the loophole. They tried to take the cheaper route and, said, oh, well, my friend told me that they would do it for free because everybody else wanted to charge me $600 or $1,000, and I just couldn't do it. Well, now it's costing you double to fix it.
Yeah. Another thing I was going to add on to that is if you're a W-2 employee, so if you're getting a W-2 and then you have like a small little side hustle that has not built yet, and you don't want to report it to the IRS because you're like, I'm going to get taxed for the little money that I receive. Guess what? Most businesses do not exceed. They're not successful the first year. You actually invested so much money into your business and there's no money coming in, and you not reporting that. Guess what? You're losing out on a refund because your W-2, which you paid into federal, they're going to give you that money back with all the expenses that you took from your business.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why it's important. Just if you have a good tax preparer, talk to them and tell them, hey, be like extremely truthful. Be like, hey, this is what I have, what's going on. And then they can see, okay, well, should we file it or not? You know what I mean? But don't, if you don't know these little tactics or tricks, guess what? You're not going to know if you don't ask. Some people never like ask questions and they're not going to get fed, right? So that's one thing I would also recommend is letting them know exactly where you're at, what's going on. Don't lie because you're only blocking yourself, basically. That mentality that I don't want to tell the IRS what I'm doing, get that out of your head. Okay? The more you pay the IRS, guess what? It's because now you have tax problem because now you're making money. And that's a good problem.
It is, because there's ways. There's ways to structure yourself right to still be successful. Even if your business becomes, a $1 million business and you owe a little bit in taxes, that's okay, because you went from, starting at your house to a little side hustle to $1 million business. That's amazing if you ask me, and you pay a little bit of taxes, why not? But it's all in strategy. It's all in strategy. It's all in just how you do it, how you present it, how you structure yourself.
Can you tell us one successful story or something that you're very proud of?
I'm just proud of this entire year. I've really challenged myself. Like I said, I started with taking the tax class, and this year has been my most successful year. I learned so much about myself, not only myself, but the business. Just, why the wealthy are wealthy, why, wealth management is important. Generational wealth is important. I understand things are getting, expensive. People are struggling, and, and you're always wondering, how are they doing it? Well, it all started, from their business? How did you structure yourself? What did you do with your children? How did you educate your children? How did you set up your bank accounts? A lot of people, again, don't want to report certain stuff. Oh, I don't want a business account because
Yes.
for whatever reason it may be. But you don't realize that your business, you can create credit with your business. You can, and once you establish credit, that opens the door to many more things under that business credit instead of it be going to your personal. You know, sometimes we understand things happen, right? Life happens, and sometimes people go out of business and you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? They were so successful last year and now they're out of business, right? Well, guess what? If it's under your personal, and you lost everything under that personal, social, under that credit, are you going to be able to, if you're in a bad place, are you going to be able to apply for another credit card or a loan or anything like that? No, because your credit, your business was under your credit. But when you start creating business credit, at that point, say something happened, at least it's not going to affect your personal and you could still figure life out. And a lot of people don't understand that. They go and open a business under their personal and it doesn't go well. And now their credit's shot and they're trying to figure out life.
Yes. And we do have a lot of success stories where people come and they're like, hey, they told me that I owe $30,000 on taxes. And we're like, let me see what's going on, you know? So we go in there, we look into the system and we're like, well, did you take deductions off this? No. Did you do deductions off that? No. What about this? What about that? You know? And then like, oh my gosh, I could have done that. I said, yeah. She's like, these years I've been paying $8,000 to the IRS 2 years back. And I was like, are you serious? Why? If you have all your expenses, but it's a lack of knowledge again. Right? So we actually even amend people's taxes and go back and get them credits for the years that passed. Yes. Yes. So that's what we do. And that's our success story. And we love helping people like Tanya and I. We love giving out money because it's not ours. It's the IRS. And that money belongs to you guys, you know?
Right.
So we love helping out. And that's I guess when we go home, we're like, hey, if I could help somebody with their business, structure it right, well, they understand it and they get a refund. And if not, even break even, but I did my job as a tax preparer, as a bookkeeper, as a consultant, anything. But it gives you that good satisfaction because we love what we do. We love helping people.
Yes.
My favorite tax return would be the T-Mobile. So I have my business line with T-Mobile. So my bill decreased like a couple $100
Nice.
with my business account. So
Yes.
take advantage of that once you have your business, your EIN, right?
Yeah.
Number. Then you go into T-Mobile and ask them to transfer your regular personal line to a business line, and you'll save a couple dollars. Plus, you get the refund at the end of the year, right? Taxable. It's taxable, right?
You get a write-off. So
Write off.
Yes.
Right.
The write-off.
Write off. So that's pretty amazing. Does the audience have any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
My name is Alan. First of all, thanks for all the information. This is really useful. I think especially talking for me, one of the biggest struggles that I've had was the mentality of, if from side hustles that I've had, the mentality from people around me were saying, like, don't report to the IRS, you know, like, don't. And I think I've come to learn more at the end of this year, just to be more transparent up front, because I realized that I do have a business, LLC and EIN from the first business that I created last year. And it's been a year of learning lessons because I've made a lot of mistakes from not self-educating myself. And so I wanted to ask a question regarding having a relationship with a tax professional. You mentioned about having a good relationship with somebody who will want to help you grow your business. And so I'm wondering, are there any questions or anything to look out for when meeting with tax professionals on what to look for? I guess like a good indicator that this might be somebody who actually wants to help me with my business or just wants to file my taxes.
First of all, I want to say do not ask your uncle for advice on taxes or your aunt or yeah, nobody, because you know what? I know people who have beauty salons and they're sole proprietorship and they have never took action about their business, and it's so sad. And they're Latinos. Latino community, we're very like, we don't want people to know our business. We don't want people like, get out of our, like, don't, you know what I mean? And it's not even that, it's that fear that they created inside of us. Don't be in fear. Like, have an established account with the IRS, like, do things right, because at the end it's gonna cost you money. But anyways, what you're saying, how do you know your tax preparer is actually there for you? They will start asking you questions. They would be like, do you have any more expenses we can take? You know, not like, okay, well, this is what I have, and then they just input everything, and they don't even talk to you, don't even say anything about your business. They have no like need to even know about you, basically. Then that's how you know you shouldn't even be doing business with them, because they don't even care about you. But then there's other tax preparers that are going to fake stuff and put them in there. I'm going to get you a bigger refund, but we're going to put here that you spent $5,000 on supplies. And you're like, no, I didn't. And you know, so you got to watch out for the ones that are very, I guess, because at the end, you're responsible for that. You got to pay that money back. You're happy because you're going to get maybe $2,000 refund. But guess what? IRS is like, hey, where are these expenses at? And you don't have them. Those $5,000 can turn into $10,000 with penalties. So you got to be very wise who you do your taxes with. And yeah, exactly. That's all I have to say. But yeah, that's basically it. Make sure, pick wisely, because it's going to cost you a lot later on.
So a good story of one of our clients, just so you guys, because I know you said you have several side hustles, and people tell you, oh no, don't report it or don't do this. So we had one client come in, and she was actually only coming in to do her taxes because she was a veteran and wanted to take advantage of her VA loan to purchase a home. So the realtor sent her, oh, we need your last 2 years of taxes, because if you're purchasing a home, they're going to ask you for your last 2 years in taxes when you're purchasing a home, if no one here has purchased a home before. So she comes in, we're getting her all set up, and we figure out that her stuff is a big mess. She's late on a lot of things. We fix it all up. We get it all nice, and she's still stuck on this VA loan thing. And we're like, okay, well, there's certain things, again, this is why you need to meet with your tax preparer, because if you're going to purchase a home and you have a business and it's under your personal, we have to strategize you in order to be able to purchase that home. So, and prepare you. So she's coming in, and we're telling her, well, if you want to purchase this house, this is how it's going to work. But her vision was so blocked because she was stuck on qualifying for that home, not realizing that her business had a way bigger potential. She is sitting on like a money pit, basically. And just, it's so much. And she's so intelligent and so successful. She's in her early 20s, Latina young lady. Her and her boyfriend are just building this empire of a business. And she's stuck on this VA loan. And I'm like, well, I understand the VA loan is great. It's great because it's government loan. They pay for a lot of things that they wouldn't pay for an ordinary person. And I'm like, well, you do realize that you're basically basing your business off this VA loan that's probably going to pay anywhere from, depending on the home, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 for you just to get in that home. That's not going to be yours. I was like, you're making that $20,000 in 1 month. Why are you so worried about the home and the loan when you could be making all this other money on this side? You're blocking yourself. So again, I was just to add to you, because you were saying people influence you and all that. Don't always allow people to influence you, because they might be blocking you from your business booming because you're stuck over here because you just want to earn this or want to qualify for this. Like, your business probably has way bigger potential, and that might be nothing to you 6 months later. So that vision that you have, or whatever vision it is that you guys have, it can be something really big. So don't get so intimidated by so-and-so said this. If you don't know, research, ask, Google. I know some people use ChatGPT. That's how this client actually found us through ChatGPT. We were shocked. We were cracked. Yeah. She found us through ChatGPT, but it was like, she came in, walking in, because she was trying to buy a house. And after she was all done, she didn't buy the house, but we straightened her out, and she had no idea. She would have gotten hit with so many penalties, and it was, again, because she didn't know what entity she was, and a friend went and did it for her and signed them up, and this partnership and all this other stuff that they had no idea about. So, and they got the letters say it when you do it from the IRS, but some people just think, oh, okay, I got my letter, I'm a legit business, and they fail to read it. And there's certain things that you need to read to know for filing statuses in businesses.
Yeah, and with that said, if you're in a partnership and you guys go out on the IRS portal and create a partnership, guess what? Your guys' taxes is so different from your individual taxes. You guys have to file that March 15th. And most people don't realize that. Like, they don't realize that you just create a partnership with the IRS, stating that you have to file March 15th. If you don't file, you will be penalized. And then they come in September. They're like, hey, well, I have this partnership and I have these taxes done. I'm like, sir, you're way past your due date. And now we got to go backwards. And now we have to see if the IRS is going to forgive all your penalties. So those are those are things that you guys have to be very, very wise when you guys do paperwork, when you guys do partnerships. If somebody tells you, like, just file for an S corp, if you don't know what that is, please do your research, because don't just step into something that you're not aware and you don't even know what you're doing, basically. Okay. And don't become an S corp until you make $150,000. And when you do, we are on Sahara and Valley View, so come check us out, and we'll take you guys in.
Does anybody else have any more any questions?
Any other questions? And then, like, courses, those are deductible. If you guys travel for business, those are expenses that can be write-offs as well. Traveling, miles, cell phone, advertising, all those things. And then another thing, before you guys become an entrepreneur, make sure that and lunch meals, yeah.
Yes.
Your
that's
Starbucks,
correct.
the Starbucks that you guys buy in the mornings, yeah, those are deductibles too. But
Start telling your receipts.
yes. Yes, Elias.
I have a question. How did you get into taxes and bookkeeping? And obviously you stayed in it long enough, so is it an opportunity to make money in it? Is it a career that other people can get into? How did somebody kind of learn from y'all and get into what you guys are doing as well?
Okay, so I used to work at the Mirage Hotel and Casino. I used to be a fountain worker. Once I was full-time, because I was part-time, and it was fun because I really didn't have to go into work, and but then once I became a full-time worker and I started to see, like, how everybody would wake up and just go to work, clock in, clock out, clock in, clock out. I am making somebody rich. Okay, they can replace me like this. And guess what? It's going to cost me something. It's going to cost me my back because I lift so much. It's going to cost me my knees because the floor was tile. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff that I would see in other people working at the casino for so many years, and seeing how, like, once they retire, I think, like, in a couple years, they would just die. I'm sorry. It's the truth. And if you work at the casino, you know that. You don't even have time to even retire or enjoy it. Anywho, they started laying off a lot of people. Because they started getting cashiers. Cashiers were replaced by robots. I'm sorry, guys. Wake up. You guys, people who are working in that industry, you guys are going to be replaced. Cashiers, bartenders, servers. And people don't see that. So once, and that's something that I don't know if you guys saw it on the news, but they laid off a lot of people. They laid off bartenders, cashiers, servers. Why? Because they replaced them with robots, basically. And it was a big, huge movement. Yeah. And guess what? People who work in there for 30 years, they got the boot. Yeah, go work somewhere else, or figure it out, or you got laid off. That was it. So I was like, if they're gonna do that to me, and I'm giving them the best years of my life, like, I don't want that, and they're just gonna kick my butt to the curb. And what do I know? I'm not educated. I don't have education. I don't have anything to even go back on, because working at the casino as a Hispanic, that's all we know. My mom worked at a casino. I worked in a casino. My uncles. It was the best thing ever. You were doing something when you were. But anyway, but that was the mindset. Okay, that's the mindset. Then I started to realize this is not what I want. I started working at the tax office with Sonia. I knew her since I was 16, and she always told me, Stephanie, do something else, do something else. And I was like, okay. So during the time where I was part-time at my job, Um, the slow seasons were January, February, March. Those are tax seasons, January, February, March, until April. March Madness was come, and I would go back to work. But anyways, during that time, I would learn how to do taxes, prepare them, be her inputter, start talking with clients. And then I saw a need in her business. She couldn't take clients that were bigger clients because she needed a bookkeeper. She needed someone to keep track of these transactions. And I said, okay, well, you know what? Maybe we can work together. I can be the bookkeeper and we can get even bigger clients and you do their taxes. And the first year, it was super hard. I didn't get clients like that. And it fluctuates. You're not going to have business. But that's in everything that you guys do. You got to have really strong skin if you're going to become an entrepreneur. Because if you don't even like what you're doing now, you don't want to wake up, then don't become an entrepreneur because nobody's going to push you. You got to push yourself. That's one thing. You got to push yourself. It's you against you. And you got to be disciplined. But anyways, I didn't learn that. And if you really want to test your faith, become an entrepreneur. And that's how you know, because there's weeks where there's nothing coming in, and then there's weeks where it's just booming, right? But anyways, it's worth it. It's way worth it. Once you get where you're supposed to be at, it's worth it because I get to spend time with my kids. If I want to go to work, I'll go to work. You know what? Summertime, tax season's over, I get to spend it with my kids. The 3 months off. That is the reward of having 3 years of just working and not knowing what's going to happen. But now you feel it. And that's just the beginning, guys. So now this Christmas is coming, and guess what? Me and Tanya get to spend it with our kids, those 2 weeks off. At a casino, no, you got to come back to work. We need you. This is our busy season. And if you call off, guess what? You're getting 3 points. And you're like, damn, and then people don't even show up to work, and they got you doing 3 positions at once, So that's how it was. And these are the rewards of you keep going, pursuing. And one more thing, if you're doing it for the money, it's not going to work. Do it because you're passionate, because passion doesn't go away. You're passionate about helping people. You're passionate about what you're doing, and that's going to keep your drive going. So that's the reason why I became an entrepreneur and I left my 9-to-5, because I wanted the freedom. I wanted to educate myself, and a robot can't do what I do. I'm sorry, it can't, because you do need systems. But doing the inputting, making sure that everything's right, having the customer service with your clients, they can't do that. They can't replace you. So open your eyes and see that we're living in a new world, and you guys need to move on. Do something that people can't do and can't pay a robot to do, basically, right? So that's my story. And Tanya, she's just grown so much in the tax industry, and she's amazing. She has 4 kids. 4 kids, a realtor. And she works she's a wife, and she helps the tax courts, and she's also a tax preparer. This girl right here.
I don't know. I'm constantly going. I'm constantly thinking.
And all her kids are in sports.
It's everything. Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna get you Mom of the Year award.
I know. She calls me last night and she's like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I'm at a soccer game." She's like, "This late?" I was like, "Yes." Thank you. It's not easy, but you know what? It's the I love finance. I love helping people. That's my thing. It's not about me. It's if I educated you. I love education. I love to learn new things, that are going to help me be more successful, to help me give more to my kids, to show my kids what I created and help them maybe cut off the years and they're not learning so late as I did, figuring all this out. They're going to have like a 20-year jump start, and we need to because otherwise what are they going to have, So like I said, I loved finance. I just wanted to understand taxes. Even when I was young, there's always, these multi-level things that go around Herbalife, the candles, all that stuff. So growing up, I always have like that, because that gives you a 1099, and that's the trick to taxes. So I didn't even understand it then. I just did it. Because somebody told me that's the trick to taxes, and that's how you get your write-off. So that's how I would go. I'd be like, oh, and I do this, a little bit out of the year. And then when I met Sonia, she's like, come take my course. And I was like, you know what? I am going to take your course. I want to understand, because it was right after COVID, and, everybody was at home, and a lot of jobs accommodated and allowed you to, now the new thing became where all these companies figured out that they could pay you to work from home, or some of them just went away. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be home, because I was a stay-at-home mom for many years, and that was a very big transition for me, because I'm used to being around people. I was in healthcare for many years. I loved helping the elderly when it came to their health issues, because some of them are alone. They don't have kids, or their kids are somewhere else, and unfortunately, I don't know, maybe can't help. I don't know, but it was I saw that and so I'm just a people person. I want to educate, I want to help. So COVID happened, and I'm like, well, taxes, I mean, while everybody was still there, COVID didn't care that you still had to file taxes, right? So I was like, oh, that, you know what? Even more so for me to learn. I'm like, it's COVID. Everybody's in their house. There's nobody on the freeway, nowhere on the streets, but you still got to file your taxes. So I took the course, and I got even more excited. I was like, wow, this is so fun. It was just like, even doing the refunds and the understanding. And it was just like, I started talking to everybody. I started telling my family, everybody. And, again, the Latino families, we don't like to share information like, oh, how much do you make? Oh, well, I can't tell you that. And it's like, it's public record nowadays, So my sister's one of the biggest ones out of our family, and she went and to Costco, got her little discount for TurboTax, and started filing her taxes. So she calls and she's like, hey, I have a question. And I was like, oh, you do? Okay, what's your question? She's like, I'm on TurboTax, and it's telling me that I don't know how. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know. She's like, what do you mean you don't know? It's asking me this. I'm like, my system's not TurboTax. It doesn't ask me those questions. It's plain simple. I can understand the numbers. I could break it down for you. I have no idea what you're telling me. And she's like, okay, well, let me call you back. She calls me back. She's like, can I send you my stuff? I was like, oh, okay. I thought you didn't want to share your stuff. So it ended up looking a little bit different, but I explained to her why it was that she was owing, because she had never owed the IRS before. So after I helped her, then I had a cousin from my family call me and completely confided in me. And I had saved them all this money and got them the biggest refund they had ever gotten. They're like, what did you do? I was like, inputted the numbers, you gave me all your stuff, I just strategized it, and you're good. She's like, really? And I'm like, really? And so they were so excited, and that to me was like, wow, this is amazing. So the opportunity came where at Sonia's tax office, they were, one of her colleagues or partners that was there for several years, she decided, she wanted something different. It was because it can be stressful, but to me, I just see numbers and they're happy. I'm like, oh my gosh, you went from owing 30,000 and you're getting $5,000 back. Whoop, let's go. So it was all of that, just helping people and then being like their face, like, really, I'm getting a refund. I've never gotten a refund. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're getting a refund. And, everybody leaving so happy, that help that you give and that education, when somebody leaves a place feeling confident. I like to leave a place where I don't know what I'm doing, leaving confident, because I have that information now and I feel confident in everything that I'm doing, So I've just learned so much from finance that even my husband, sometimes when I'm calling him, it's like dead silent, because I'm rambling off on how excited I am or how I learned something new in the finance and the tips and all this other stuff and why the wealthy do it this way. And I'm at that, it's like dead silent. And I'm like, hello? And he's like, I'm here. I'm just listening. I was like, oh, okay. I got too excited, So it was just the fact that taxes is something you're going to have to do forever. And if you like numbers, it might be something that you enjoy. Well, you actually get to learn finance. You get to learn different stuff. We learn every day, even though, we're sitting here talking to you guys, all of this knowledge, we learn from our clients too sometimes. Like, we get people that are so vested into stocks, and we know a little bit about stocks, but I mean, I'm no pro. So it's like when you see their stocks, it's like, whoa, how did did you do that? Then they start teaching me stuff and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, so we learn too every day. So I just love that. I love to learn. And what I learn, I love to educate others, because you know what? It's not just about me being successful. There's enough success and wealth for everybody, for everybody in this world, So it's just, how hard are you going to go at your business, And that to me was the greatest thing this year at the tax office, was learning all the avenues of everything and how to structure yourself to create wealth.
This is like so exciting because I love seeing, making people feel better than I found them. I have a mommy question for you.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
How do you teach your kids wealth, depending on their age, but like, what is like something you teach your kids that you weren't taught, but you're already putting them in that?
Their mindset.
Oh, okay. Well,
For the future.
Stephanie's a great mom too. She has 2 kids herself, so not all the credit. I know having 4 is harder, but she does it too.
You guys can both answer, because I know every mom is different, right? I have 2
Yes.
sisters that each have a kid. One's a boy, one's a girl. They teach them differently.
Mhm.
So, but since you guys are in the finance, like, I bet it's a bit different teaching your kids money. Maybe.
It is. Mine are at an age where they don't all necessarily understand my son. So they're 12, 11, 9, and 6. So I've bought in there's children's finance books. I bought my son children's finance books just to kind of get an idea of what's a credit card. Because he wants to ask me, hey, mom, can you hook up Apple Pay? Well, hold on a second, sir. Do you know how to manage money? Like, what do you, $20 to you is like $1. It's like, I don't think so. So the way I teach my kids is, you know what? I don't expect a lot from you. I just want you to be a kid. And I will provide, and you will earn everything. It's not like, oh, mom, can I have this? Everything is earned. And what I've started implementing a lot in my kids now is their piggy banks. So right away, now they're at an age where the school is having like their little gift shops, or, their bake sale. And mom, can I have $5? Can I have, $1? And it's like, to them, it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll pay this. And not realizing, or even the ice cream man. I know that's there, but I'm from like when the icicles were 50 cents. Okay, you guys. Now they go for an ice cream and it's like $5. They're like, mom, and I'm like, I have 4. That's $20 for an ice cream. So the way I started explaining, I was like, look, we're gonna go to the store, and at the store, doesn't it make more sense? Here they're gonna charge you $5. Doesn't it make more sense for me to go buy you a box for the price that I'm going to pay one for you, just for all of you guys, just to have one? Now I can go buy you a box and you can have it at the house to have more than one for the day. You got to know your numbers. You got to know how to add. And I've even taken them to the store. Like if it's something, I mean, I could buy it for them, honestly, but I want them to learn too. Like sometimes when they're kids, we buy them stuff and they break it right away. And it's like, wow, you didn't even like take care of it. And that was expensive. They don't know the worth of it, So I'm like, okay, well, next time you're going to buy it, because then it hurts more because you bought it. So I've taught them that now. Like they want to go somewhere. I'm like, okay, how much is it? You need to count your money, and remember there's taxes involved. So you need a little bit extra to pay your taxes. So if you want me to take you to this store, go look up how much it is and make sure that when we get to the cash register, you have any money, because I don't have any money on me. I don't have my cards and I don't have my cash. I'm just taking you there. So that's how I've slowly, and it's not easy to, kids are not easy, but they are fun. And it's just guiding them and teaching them, and understanding, the value of money. And it's just, they learn little by little. And if you just teach them like, hey, here's $1 should get you this, that's kind of how I've been implementing money. But they do ask questions like, mom, are you at the tax office? Did you get people money? How do taxes work? So I've briefed them a little bit, not in depth, because obviously they're probably not going to understand. But I'm like, yes, when you go to the store, they charge you taxes.
Yeah.
So start familiarizing yourself with that stuff.
Even my son, yes. Well, you just reminding my daughter owes me $10. So
I owed my son $10, and he reminded me of that.
She owes me. I'm like, wait, how? Anyways, Okay, so my son yesterday, he's like, hey, we were like purchasing some snacks, we were gonna watch a movie. He's like, Mom, why are you gonna pay taxes? He's like, don't tax preparers don't pay taxes. I'm like, excuse me, everybody pays taxes, okay? Because he wanted to buy Roblox. He's like, I was like, where's your dollar for taxes? He's like, I only have this. I'm like, you need your dollar for Roblox. And then he's like, wait, I thought you were a taxpayer. You don't have to pay taxes, Mom. I was like, no, I do. But anyways, if you want to create wealth for your family and your kids, guess what? Open up they probably won't understand because my kids are small too. My son is 11, my daughter is 7, so they're still small. They don't understand this. But if you want to grow generational wealth and you have money extra, even right now that you're young, open up a life savings, a life insurance. You can even open one up for your kids. And as they grow, the money will start growing because you add your life insurance to an investment as well. And that's how you build generational wealth. So when they grow up, they actually have a little small bank and it's tax free and they can grab that money. And as the market grows or as the market fluctuates, but regardless, guess what, guys? Money keeps going up. A burger years ago cost you 25 cents. Now it's like what? $5. So what do you know? If you invest your money, it's going to start growing. Yes, don't look at it every single day because it fluctuates. But you can do the same thing for your kids. If you're spending Starbucks $30 a day, $30 a month, grab that money and put it into a savings account for your kids so that when they grow up, they have something for them, either for their college, for their car, anything that they might need. Because I wish my family were wealthy and I had like $50,000 waiting for me when I turned 18, but that was not the case. So, so if you want to do that for your kids, that would be nice.
Speaking on that matter, a lot of us, I had a 401k when I was working in the medical field. As I transitioned out to be an entrepreneur, I'm slacking on that aspect. Is there any advice you would give to me and my friends here that because we're an entrepreneur, we don't have the fallback of a 401k? Is there any advice you would like to give us on that?
What I advise is buying what is it called, Tanya? I forgot. Bonds. Start buying bonds. Yeah.
Write this down.
You can buy bonds and put $10,000 away and then start saving up. And you can also start what is it called? You can actually have I don't even know how to explain it, but
There's even companies that you could go through and
They offer it.
and offer a 401k. So you don't need to actually be employed by someone to contribute to your own 401k. Whether it be a traditional or a Roth 401k, there are like companies where you could just open an account for yourself. And if you were to do that, that's also, you do get a tax credit for your contributions as well.
yeah, and if I were you, I wouldn't get a 401k. I would get a Roth IRA.
Again,
Yes.
the difference to that is because a traditional is not taxed. A Roth is pre-taxed already. So your money going in is already being taxed. So when you go to pull that money out, it's already taxed money.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get taxed on it.
So a Roth IRAs are really good, and you can put, I believe, the most you can is 7,000, Tanya, or 6 every year.
I think it's 6,500.
Yeah, 6,500.
The
You can
max
put in
per
there.
year.
And just put that money away because, like she said, you guys are entrepreneurs. There is no, you guys are not paying to the federal, so there's no Social Security coming back. And if there is, it's only a little bit.
Yeah. So to explain to that, because a lot of people sometimes we get phone calls on this all the time, they don't understand. So if you are a W-2 working person, at the end of the year you get your W-2, you see everything what's been paid into. A lot of the times you'll see Medicare and Social Security, that's going towards your retirement. So people who are entrepreneurs and have been entrepreneurs for a very long time and hardly ever worked, they're not going to see Social Security. So you're going to have your own little cushion saved up somewhere because you have no points, you haven't contributed anything. So at some point, you want to invest in yourself as well, whether it be a Roth 401k, some kind of, life insurance policy that offers the same like cash value savings type of accounts, because they work the same way too. It's an investment. Again, it goes with wealth planning. That's what the wealthy do. They all have all sorts of policies. So when things sometimes we don't understand that. We never knew that. Our parents never got us one or anything like that. So a lot of times when people hit a rough patch, they remember, oh, I have that savings life insurance policy that I could pull out
That has a cash.
that has cash flow in it. And they borrow from there instead of having to go get a loan somewhere and pay it back. And some policies, you can either pay it back to yourself or you don't have to. It just depends on your policy and how you do that. But that's another way to start creating something for yourself and your family, so that in the event, if you do, that's like your own little savings account,
Yeah.
that you could pull from, and you're not stressed. Oh, my credit's bad. I don't qualify for a loan.
My question is, if the system knows, and maybe we might not have the answer to this, but it's okay. It's a work in process. I'm speaking for my community that doesn't have or was not educated on this matter, which is the Roth bonds and etc. Why haven't we created a pathway for us to fall back, not necessarily on Social Security, but like for us entrepreneurs to have that fallback and not necessarily like get money from Social Security office, but or department, but that's something like that I'm passionate about, and I want to see like a movement on. Just because I've seen it in my community, I see it with me happening right now as an entrepreneur, and I haven't seen anything like that secures my future when I'm older as an entrepreneur.
So that's exactly why I can tell you that I was so excited when I took Sonia's tax class, because I come from a family, believe it or not, I have several uncles that are entrepreneurs that were very successful, know the stock market, know everything. And when I found out how taxes worked and how all of this, creating your wealth worked, I thought, oh my gosh, like I kid you not, we had Zoom meetings as families because obviously we couldn't get together right during COVID, and just paint and draw. And I'm like, why couldn't we have Zoom meetings as a family on finance with all my uncles and everybody else teaching us what they know as in entrepreneurship? And that's why I said I was with my mouth open. I was floored. And that's why I decided to start doing taxes, because I wanted to share all of that. I started sharing it with my entire family. Like even the particular uncle that I was like, I know that he would have known. Why has it? But I could have been retired by now. We could have been a family empire and I would have been on a beach somewhere, And that it gave me even more of a drive, because I'm like, I'm going to educate not just the Latino community, but my family and whoever else wants to learn and wants to come on this journey. Because you know what? We're not gatekeepers. I'm not a gatekeeper. I love to spread wealth. I love to share. If I find something else out, I love it. I'm like, guess what I found out? Thank you. So I just love it. I love to see other people succeed too. And you're right. There is a lack of a lot of information. And we see it at the office, even with our clients, even with their aunt and uncle that was their accountant for years. And we're looking at their stuff and we're like, don't go back to your uncle ever again.
But you know what? If you guys want to build wealth right now and you guys have kids, it's simple as this. And I know people don't want to talk about it. Just get life insurance.
Yes.
You want to build wealth? Don't leave your kids with anything. Give them something. At least life insurance, 200,000. Here you go. Cover the house, and they have something when you leave. Because we some of our we were taught that let them figure it out. No, you have somebody that's waiting for you and they depend on you, so make sure that you leave them something, okay? And your family as well. And that's what the wealthy people do. They have multiple life insurance policies, and they have them from their kids, they have it from their even their workers. At the Mirage, when you sign up at any MGM resort, those $10,000 that they tell you that if something happens to you, you pass away, you get to keep,
That's life insurance.
Life insurance, yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the life insurance, did you ever sign up for that? That free $10,000 that they're gonna give you if you pass away. Well, guess what? They signed one for $10,000 for you, but they're keeping the other half, which could be up to $50,000 to $90,000 of insurance. And that's how the wealthy become wealthy. And you signed that document saying, yes, I agree that you're gonna give me $10,000. And guess what, guys? Life insurance is tax free. There you go. So now you know how the wealth build wealth, and it's tax free. You don't have to pay anything.
And you just have to start with your kids when they're little.
Yeah.
Once they're little, it's very, in my opinion, for when you start your kids when they're young, it's very affordable. It's not like breaking the bank. You could do it. You really could do it. But again, it's lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of not knowing, and a lot of people are in it for, again, the money. Sometimes it's what brings money to the table, but they don't care what they're selling you sometimes. So that's why it's good to ask questions. Don't just think that because they're the professional, they have the best interest for you. Not always. Sometimes if you don't understand something, ask questions so that you do understand it. Because if you don't understand it, how are you supposed to maximize on it? How are you supposed to understand what you're building, right? So again, that's amazing that you say that, because it would be nice to create a community like that, because you're not alone. Trust me, you're not alone.
Oh, and going back to what you said, the reason why you don't pay Social Security or Medicaid, because it's cash. Basically, it's your responsibility to pay into those contributions. So that's why they're like, most people who have a W-2, they are obligated to pay for medical, federal, and Social Security. So at the end of the year, what you're getting taxed on is only federal, not Social Security or Medicare. That's why it's so expensive at the end of the year, because you have not paid into those contributions. So that's why you don't have a retirement or anything like that. But if these people are paying only $10,000 to Social Security, you can actually get an investment, pay $20,000, and you're probably going to retire even faster than they are.
Yeah. Well,
I am very grateful to learn. Every day is a learning experience as an entrepreneur. I definitely saw that when I was in the medical field, I was contributing to my 401k, and I would see their investment and where they would put the money we were working, and like where they would be investing into. So it was crazy to see all the money and where our hard labor was going into. I did take advantage of my 401k at a very young age, and I do not regret it. But now that I'm in this situation as an entrepreneur with my friends, I just want to keep spreading that knowledge to, like, let's have something, like create something that's obviously
Education, like knowledge.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. Like I said, we all come from families sometimes. And like I said, that's why I was floored. My mouth was open. Like, how did I not know this all these years? And they don't teach you this, they don't teach you. You just know you're 18. I can go apply for a credit card.
I'm surprised.
And be careful before you get yourself in debt.
Yeah, after so many years, there's been so many entrepreneurs, and we still don't have something for us to fall back, for when we retired. I'm still like, what's going on? But anyways, we do want to thank you for all the information you have given us today. Very grateful. I learned a lot. So if you guys want to say your name again.
So my name is Stephanie, and you can actually follow me on Instagram, stephanie.lisette. And on there, I share like tips and the services that we also give. And then if you guys want any of our tax services, you can go to Sonia's Tax Service as well. And I think it's soniastaxservice.tax, no? And www.101.tax as well, if you guys want to sign up for the course. Okay, so for my Instagram, it's stephanie.lisette. And if you want to join our tax course, it's on 101.tax. And our tax office is Sonia's Tax Services. We're 5 stars.
We do get
thousands of reviews, amazing.
all organic, guys.
A 702. Oh,
We have flyers, so I think we should have enough. If we don't, yeah, but
No, you can have them. I think we should have enough for everybody.
Mhm.
We came prepared.
we did. Mhm. Thank you guys for having me. Again, my name is Tanya. I am at Sonia's Tax Services. Phone number for you guys in case 702-685-1111. And again, if you guys have questions after this, or you want to book an appointment, a consultation, anything, you have business questions, give us a call. We are happy to help, and just also let us know where you're coming from, that you came from here, and so we can get you, and we'll get you guys in right away for a consultation for any questions. But again, like, we do not hesitate, especially if you haven't opened your LLC and you're here because you're thinking of opening a business. Always ask questions like, what's the best fit for me? What is it looking? You can give us a call. We could do it. Stephanie has done several on Zoom. You can come in person. I know a lot of tax offices are closed. We're open.
Where's your Instagram?
Oh, and you can follow me. I have my Instagram as well. It's Tanya, TANYA _mompreneur. And you'll find me on Instagram under that name. And just for any tips, or if you can message me if you have tax questions, strategizing questions. I know the tax season's coming up too, and if you guys have your businesses open, you might be thinking like, oh, they just gave me a bunch of write-offs now. How do I begin? So if it gets too overwhelming too, you can always call Stephanie. She handles the books at the office. I'm more the tax preparation, but any questions, don't hesitate to call. We love educating our community, especially small businesses, helping you guys grow and becoming very successful.
Yes. And then we also help our clients build their business even more. So we had a client that she was like, I don't know what to do with this bar business. I think we're just going to let it go. I was like, girl, you paid so much money to just let this go. And she just started her TikTok account like 3 days ago. And she called us so excited. She was like, Steph, I have 3,000 followers. And no, almost 3,000 followers. And guess what? She got a deal of $3,000 a deal on TikTok.
Yes.
See, so you need to get out there, like, show yourself. What is your business about? When they look up your name, what are you offering? Who is this person? So we also help in that area if you need more like
ideas, a
exposure,
push,
ideas.
something. Because she did. She really did. She came in and she didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to do with anything. And she's just like, they were more of a mobile. And I'm like, you realize we live in Las Vegas? People come here to throw parties. I said, what if you did it mobile? What if you dropped it off? I'm like, and you don't have to do the whole setup. And they're like, right. And then like, go on TikTok, start tagging everybody, do everything. And that's exactly what she did. And that's when she called and she's like, they used Stephanie for the books because it was a hot mess. And then we did the tax preparation, and she called me because she got a check. She's like, I thought I was going to owe. And I was like, no, ma'am. And I was like, those are for you. Merry Christmas. And she was so excited. She's like, but wait, I have one more thing. Can you put the phone on speaker? Is Stephanie there? And that's when she told us. So it's so rewarding to get those calls because we build relationships too. It's not like just like, oh, okay, your taxes. Yeah, sure. Okay, see you next year. No, we love building relationships with our clients.
We want everybody to win and succeed in their business. That's our goal, because we know how hard it is to build a business, and the struggles and the self-doubt and waking up early and not knowing what's going to happen. Like, we know the struggle, and we know that you guys want to build something, and we're going to help you. That's our passion for everybody. Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you again.